If that's the case, then let's try running it through our sound changes and see what we get. Losing intertonics, we don't need that anymore. We lower the oo, we metathesize the qua cluster. We're doing one form, isn't this great? Oh boy, okay. YouTube, welcome back. We are in the middle of another historical linguistics challenge, the Xije Edition, courtesy of Cornelius Q. Sprat, my esteemed colleague. So let's not waste any more time. While things are working well, let's scoot back to the side webcam and look at our reconstruction. So far we've reconstructed two things. A root, which I've reconstructed as gardener, which gives us all these different forms. Farmer, bee, and gardener. Then we have a dual suffix. And that gets us where we need to be. So, continuing on, we can now start to look at the plural suffix. So here we have some options. We have this interesting morpheme goj here, and it appears to be cognate with, well, it's either cognate with whatever gives us ow, or whatever gives us qua. And I am not 100% sure what the answer is here. I'm a bit more certain that Saretse's plural and is cognate with Seriki's plural, and probably also Cherish's plural. So let's go on that assumption, and let's reconstruct something for the plural. So gardener, plural. Kukuoko. Kukuoko. That's the dual. What's the plural going to be? Something like perhaps kukuokwa. So ignoring ayis for a minute, how would this help us? Well, we would derive kaukokwa without any difficulty. No, there would be difficulty because we've deleted wa before ka, after ka. So there's got to be some reason why that doesn't happen here. Yeah, there's got to be some reason why that doesn't happen here. We've run into a problem. So either this rule is wrong for Seriki, or the reconstruction is wrong. We could start off with something else. Let's take a moment to look at the orthography in Seriki. Ka, u, ko, 3, a. I wonder if there's a hint in there. Get it all on screen there. If we start off, oh, Emily Autumn, that's a really good suggestion. What if we have something like kau, quo, kla? If we have ku, quo, kla, and then we have something like L to W, I don't know. So far after K is all we see it. Then this might give us, and I think this is what Emily's onto, a way of connecting it with this lateral fricative. Kauko qua. The other thing that's interesting is we have secondary stress on this qua. And I wonder if there's something interesting going on there. What if we had actually a disyllabic suffix here, like kukuokala? We can maybe get a schwa in here. Who knows if it's a schwa? Something though. And then that secondary stress remains in Seriki. Gets deleted everywhere. The schwa gets deleted everywhere, except for in ayis where it becomes an o. Maybe it's just an o to begin with. Okay, so maybe instead of having a schwa here, I'll just reconstruct an open o. And so say we have kukuokola. So then say what happens is we lose vowels in between two stresses. So intertonic vowel deletion, like in Romance. And so that will get us to kukuo kla. And then we go L to W, giving us kuko kwa. Kuko kwa. And then we diphthongize the U to Al, or whatever order that happens, and that will work. And that will actually get us closer to this form. So hello, anonymous leopard. Is that just me? I don't know. Maybe. So then maybe what happens in this language, which is Ais. So I'll get rid of these ones because that's no longer accurate. Maybe what happens here is we lose that final vowel because it's so far from the main stress. So we lose secondary stress. We either lose secondary stress in Ais, and then we delete that really distant vowel from the stress, or we gain secondary stress in Seriki. Let's look at Saretse for an example here, for help here. So if we have intertonic vowel loss in Saretse, we would go from, oh, this is getting chaotic. We go from kukuokola, I'm just going to apply these Saretse rules. Kukuokla, kuko kla, and then we have the Polish style L vocalization, which gives us kuko kwa. This doesn't quite get us to where we need to go, though. Kuko kwa. How are we going to lose that extra syllable in the middle? Ku kwa, or ku kwa. Maybe, especially because it's a stressed syllable. Maybe we have some sort of a stress adjustment. So stressed goes to unstressed before stressed. So this is stress clash. So then we get, I've forgotten to write this stress, which is quite crucial. And then we lose this first stress to get to kuko kwa. And then how are we going to remove that middle syllable? Perhaps just by some kind of haplology. So I hate to do this, but so a syllable starting with K is going to delete in front of a syllable a stress syllable starting with K. This is hideous. I'm not proud of this. This has to actually go at the end. Chaos is reigning right now in this reconstruction, and that would actually give us kukwa, and then we'd get there. I'm not overly proud of that, but especially the formulation of this rule, but it does do the job, so yeah. Okay, and then we have to account for this one, kukwogol. So I think what we need to do in this case is voice that K. So let's say K goes to plus voice after a stressed syllable. So after a stressed vowel, before an unstressed vowel, kind of like American English flapping. So that will work. Kukwogol, kukwogola. Then we have to get rid of secondary stress. So I'm just going to hand wave this and say eliminate secondary stress, because we don't have the formalism to actually represent that available to us at the moment. And let's give ourselves a little bit more screen real estate there. Actually, I think we don't need these correspondences anymore, although I'm loath to delete them altogether. And you know what? Let's put all of these rules in some kind of minimal order. All right, so here are our rules. We need to eliminate secondary stress, and then we delete vowels if they are too far from the stress. So stress, so 2 syllables away from the primary stress, the vowel will be deleted. This has to do with how feet are constructed. So typically we're dealing with binary feet, so kukuo, kukuo. So the reconstruction, kukuo, kola. And if we lose that secondary stress, the ability to create a foot at the word edge, then there's not going to be, that's going to be now in a position where it's ripe for deletion. One day we'll have to do a whole thing on metrical phonology. And then finally, we just need to take the L and put it into a lateral fricative. Maybe this is a condition, maybe it's not. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so now we have a singular dual plural form that accounts for everything except for cherish. We're doing one form. Isn't this great? Oh boy. Okay. And so let's see how we can get there. So let's use this gloss field for a second. Yeah, galactic sand, I'm taking the L. In more ways than one. All right. So let's run this through our sound changes. Okay, so we have Coca-Cola. Now I think we need to use some combination of these sound changes. What? This is terribly written. What was I thinking? Vowels delete in between stressed syllables, intertonic vowel deletion. So if we're going to have that here, then we need to get rid of this, kukokla. We need to, sorry, I'm fiddling chat, such as life. Kukokla. And then we are just going to do the thing where we eliminate secondary stress, kukokla, and then delete those overly distant vowels. But it's not going to be overly distant in this case because we haven't had that stress shift. Maybe this should come from the dual. That could work. So kuoko. If that's the case, then let's see. Let's try running it through our sound changes and see what we get. So losing intertonics, we don't need that anymore. We lower the U. We metathesize the kwa cluster. No, we don't metathesize the k cluster, that's saretse, or saretse. We simplify the k cluster. Don't need to worry about secondary stress. And I think we could just do with some final vowel deletion as long as the vowel is unstressed. That'll get us there. Boom. Okay. I think we can derive the plural in cherish from the dual. I like that. Okay, good. Let's bring this back within reason. Soton asked a question about the writing system, whether there is some kind of, let me see what the question was, whether the writing system is sort of underrepresents the contrasts in the language. Probably, given that ku and kwa, at least if the reconstruction is correct, are written with the same series. Although maybe that's the difference between U4 and O. That's another question. So here we are. And we have now reconstructed 3 forms. There is also something going on here with this plural 2. Not sure what that is yet. Cow, cow. We may have to return to that at some point. So it's kukwo something, and it's Gardner some kind of plural. All right. Forging ahead, let's take a look at something else. So now we have we've looked at this data set, we've completely We've completely understood it. Now let's take a look at another form. It's from the field. That's right. Okay. So let's be strategic. I'd like to understand the morphology a little bit better. So let's take a look at another noun. And let's take one that actually has a correspondent in our reconstruction of Proto-Cognate. So buffalo heads, horns. We reconstructed this as buffalo, peto in Proto-Cognate, and presumably this is a related language. So we're going to try this. So we have vido in ais, which means horn. We have these suppletive plurals and duals to deal with as well. And let's get the entire paradigm in so that we can... The dodo. Oh, okay. It looks like we are wrong about the nature of the dual inflection. It looks like we're dealing with reduplication here. Interesting. Okay, horns and bido. What language is this? Saretse, meaning large animal counter. Interesting. Sharish, bido, also large animal counter. So I'm suspecting there's some relationship between saretse and sharish. And perhaps also seriki, given the similarities in the names. But we could be wrong here. We have also this parallel development of large animal counter in sharish and saretse. So we have pito, pitoto, pitao, pitotwa. And these are buffalo heads. And we have an orthography, which is pito, pitoto, pitoa, pitotoa. It makes me sort of think, what is the nature of these plurals? These two kinds of plurals that we have in seriki. And we don't get any data for plurals in saretse or sharish. And then we have some related data, which is the Proto-Cognate reconstruction. So between all of these things, we should be able to figure something out. Let's see if I can get us a bit more screen real estate. There we go. Okay, so clearly the dual is a reduplicant. So dual is a reduplication process. We see this now with dido and didodo, pito and pitoto. So I think we need to revise some things. I don't think that we can maintain the two different vowel qualities if this is a reduplication situation. Maybe what we have to do instead is say that o, when unstressed, goes to o. So minus stress. And then that is, I think, fine. And so then we don't need to have this o going to o because the two are the same. Okay, so that is our first adaptation. And then this, of course, will go to Coca-Cola. But it's not quite so straightforward either because it's not full reduplication, it's CV reduplication. So let's call this reduplication 1. Reduplication 1 involves reduplication of the consonant and the vowel, but not any complex onset. So ku, quo, ko. And then that will, I think that won't affect anything else. Okay. So maybe in that case, we have ku, quo, ko, and then this is an additional suffix on the plural. Ku, quo, ko, la. That's possible. Not totally sure I want to say it yet, but it's possible. So then, given that, let's look at at what we have for the next form. So we have this word meaning horn, large animal counter, buffalo head, and then we have either the source of a loan word or a related language, I'm not totally sure, in Proto-Ukapnash, meaning buffalo. So I am going to reconstruct this as buffalo, tentatively at least, and then let's take a look at our correspondences. Let us take a look at our correspondences. We have the, we have ba, we have ba, and we have pa. And we have nothing in Lesarrazi. And then we have this pa here. Okay, so we have this correspondence set, the, ba, ba, pa, and then pa, if we can trust this reconstruction. Then we have e, 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 Then we have d, 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 t, t. And we have o, 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 o. Okay. I'm seeing one thing already that presents a problem. I said that o originates in ayis in unstressed positions, but here we have stressed o. When I said hang in there, the chat, yeah, I gotta stop talking to this lag. It's very literal. Okay, so here we have something. This is interesting. We have a the, whereas we have labials in all the other languages. Let me think if I can come up with another instance where we have this correspondence. Well, so-called th fronting in some varieties of English, where we have the dental being pronounced as f, like thanks, that kind of thing. But given that this is, it's a mystery. I'm somewhat inclined to reconstruct it as the dental, because going from the dental to the labial is easier. Let me see what we have in terms of the writing system. Okay, so the writing system gives us something like phyto. And phyto, if we look at the writing system's representation here, we have some sort of labial fricative-like thing. So, given that, maybe I am wrong. Maybe this actually does start off as a labial. Given that we have the Proto-Ukapnash pa, I mean, depending on the direction of loan or if these are related languages, these are questions that we don't know the answers to right yet, and we can't really make assumptions about them. So I'm guessing we're dealing with some kind of maybe some kind of a labial fricative, a voiced labial fricative that hardens to b. But then how does it get to p? Yeah, this is a bit mysterious. Not sure what to do about that one. But I think what to do about the vowel is fairly clear. I think we can safely reconstruct e, because we have the same lowering in cherish as we do for u. So e, u become e, u. Seemingly everywhere that we've seen them so far, although that's not many places, that's just actually in unstressed syllables. That is backwards. Okay. Okay. And then we have a DT situation here. Interestingly, we have the voiced forms in Seretse and Cherish, and we have the voiceless one in Seriki. For both this series and this series. No need for a dictionary there. So we're dealing with something voiced and probably voiced and labial here, something probably voiced and dental here. And then we have to figure out what to do with this O, this open O. Jack says, suggests palatalization before E in Ais. Yeah. Although palatalizing a labial and going to a the is a bit weird. Unless anyone can think of an example of that. That I cannot figure out. Maybe in Gallic there's something? No, in Gallic what happens is you have a tap that palatalizes to a dental fricative, but I'm not sure what to suggest otherwise. Here we have this problem with the closed versus open O, and the analysis here is probably wrong. I'm not sure how to reconcile the fact that there's a closed O here, an open O here, and an open O here. So we have closed, 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 open, closed, open. Let me take a look at this again. Yeah, that's still a mystery to me. A mystery. Secrets. Okay. Okay, let's not pursue that mystery at the moment. Let's go with a reconstruction that looks a bit algebraic. So we at least know that it has an E. Not totally sure what to do otherwise. Then we have our reconstruction. Oh, this is interesting. So this ko cannot be a reduplicant because we get go here as well. Although we get toi here. Chat. This is a bit of a mystery. This is a bit of a mystery, I must say. Let's try another form to see if we can figure any of this out. This is fiendish, I have to say. This is fiendish. Let's look at a verb. Maybe we can make some progress there. Oh no, let's look at a preposition or an adposition at least. That at least doesn't have any morphology to plague us. So we have V in Ais before, which is written something like tiri. This is very interesting. What do we have in the other languages? We have in the Sarrazi, we have zari, which means before above. We have Xije in Shirish. I gotta round that a bit more. We have, oh no, I made a mistake. That's in Saretse, which is sunset. Am I providing some entertainment here at least? Well, if that's true, I've done my job. The struggle. We have to retitle this call and struggle session. All right, so then let's look at, oh dear, opetir. And so this is just some sort of a postposition, and it's written OPT5. Okay, so we have something interesting here. I think we are dealing with something that is vaguely of this CVCV shape, and we're dealing with the loss of the second CV in Ais. Zari gives us, so these three languages, Zari, Xije, Jiri, these give me some clues. So let's put these down here, and let's do some more correspondences. So first of all, I think that the OP part of the seriki is not etymological, or it comes from something else. Emily just pointed out something cool. It looks like the numbers represent coda consonants. That is a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. I have to think about that. No, we need to have a bit more space there. Okay, so I want to reconstruct CV. I want to reconstruct, maybe actually the first part of this. So who knows if the first syllable is gone or the last syllable is gone? What does the correspond to, T or ri? What if it corresponds to ri? That would be kind of like what I mentioned about the some varieties of Scottish Gaelic do ria to the. So if we have something like diri, and then let's say we have just sort of the normal kind of palatalization before E, just slightly different in the various languages. So that works. And then we have to turn E into schwa in unstressed syllable here. Good. And then we have zari, and that works, zari. And here we have R turning to the uvular. So then we palatalize R to J, which I can see happening. And the uvular sneeze. And then I think we just have to amend this so that it's only unstressed E and U that lower. And then we've accounted for sharish, we've accounted for seretse, we've accounted for the sarrezi. Yeah. And we have to account for opetir. And I think the operative part here is tir. Although why we've lost that end vowel is not totally clear to me. But we can do something with something really cheap and cheesy like final E's drop out for now, at least. That will save the data. And then we just have to deal with ais, which has this bizarre the. And maybe that's just the... Oh wait, I shouldn't have deleted all that, should I? That was the actual... Those are the rules. Colin, what's wrong with you? Okay, keep those. And so maybe we are dealing with ra palatalizing to the before E. So this is also before E. And then we've got to see what happens to, why does D drop out? And we don't have anything to help us here. Either that or D becomes the. So here are two options. And then the ri, so hypothesis one, the interdental fricative is from d. Hypothesis 2, the interdental fricative is from r in a palatalizing environment. If we go with option 1, how to delete ri. If we go with option 2, how to delete d. Okay. Interesting. And I think I would probably gloss this, as above or before. I think the prepositional meaning is first. I could be wrong about that. But we have this pattern with seretse and sharish where we have a different semantic development than everywhere else. Now, whether that's innovative or not, I don't know, but I somewhat suspect that it's innovative. Based on the direction, if it is indeed the case, I think it's easier to go from gardener to bee than bee to gardener. I could be wrong about that. But nevertheless, I think we should probably stop trying to push our luck and call it a day there. YouTube, this has been, well, it's been a joy. I've actually had a wonderful time. I am sorry about the technical difficulties. Hopefully your future viewing on YouTube was not overly impacted by them, and the magic of Lucy's skills will make it an enjoyable experience. But otherwise, it's been a pleasure to be here with you, and I hope you come back soon for some more historical linguistics, conlanging, language, going off and learning obscure languages. We do all that sort of thing. And oh yeah, I'm supposed to say, if you enjoyed this video, please do consider liking and subscribing and all that good jazz. All right, I keep forgetting to say that, but would I be a YouTuber if I didn't? All right, then, YouTube, until next time, we will see you.